You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. It's Chillmonger, and there's some news coming out of the Pablo Hidalgo world here on YouTube, well, Twitter. It says there on his Twitter bio that he is a disposable cog, according to him. His words, I am a disposable cog. The reason that it's relevant, of course, is because this space used to be occupied by how he's the Lucasfilm story group. He's not that anymore, according to this bio. If we are to believe the absence of that part of his bio means he's no longer with the company. We could say fired. We could guess. We could estimate. He's fired. Let's go. Contract was it reached an end and he never was picked up again. He breached a non-disclosure agreement maybe because a week ago it came out that he told J.J. Abrams that you're trying to destroy Coruscant by no, we're not having that. Go do Hosnian Prime. Well, that was like the what's the word when two people argue and they decide for a make good for it starts with a C or a K. Compromise. There it is. C. It's a C word. It's a C word. The letter C is weird. It makes the S sound. It makes the K sound. It's just inconsistent. So they compromised with Hosnian Prime, but that news story came out recently. The only guy who could confirm that would be JJ or Pablo. Now because Pablo and he deleted his tweet afterwards, but because Pablo spoke up, it appears to me, which I do believe this. This is a theory, and I believe this theory that he was reprimanded because of that, and this is the result of that. And then he says later on, "I'm a disposable cog" on my Twitter. I love this silence covering this. You guys remember a year ago now, Dave Filoni was no longer whatever he was. He became like the creative story director of Lucasfilm. If you go on the Lucasfilm website, his face is like the second highest one. There's two women who are like the executive producers, and then there's him there. He's right there. He's that important. They put that in the website, Dave Filoni, and then this is news. Holy crap. People dug around and it turns out he's been that for like months now. We just never did any announcement about it. Oh shit. Oh really? Lucasfilm is becoming a secretive studio. Good news. Great news. Love that. I don't need to know the inner workings. I just want to watch the show. Don't show me what's happening behind the scenes when your job is fiction. Awesome news. It's probably why we have no idea what's happening with this Pablo Hidalgo situation. It's not like the Gina Carano situation, which if I got to reopen that up, if you're new, it's been maybe 2 years since then. If you're new, I agree with the Instagram post that she's saying because I don't think the worst of her, and she's making a comparison that is not valid. I think history is there to learn from it. So the lesson that she posted on Instagram about before it ever got to um, Nazi Germany, it became dehumanizing your neighbors, more or less. I'm not quoting it exactly, but that's the way I felt about that. So I never thought it was even anything bad. And then a day later, I hated that statement that Lucasfilm put out, which hey, maybe Pablo Hidalgo is, he's anti-rate. Was his hair? This guy thinks it's really important to put in his bio that he's anti-fascist, he's anti-racist. For him to say this, wearing his heart on his sleeve, wearing his heart on his Twitter bio, shoot, maybe it is really telling that he put disposable cog on there and replaced it with his old status of being a member of the Lucasfilm story group. I don't know how different is Star Wars going to be now that he's not on the story group. I'm not really reading the High Republic stuff, which he's involved with. I like what he did with Hosnian Prime, saving Coruscant because J.J. Abrams was on a tear to anything prequel related. The first line of the movie Force Awakens was, "This will begin to make things right." And it was a shot at the prequels. He wasn't a fan of it. So Pablo Hidalgo did step in there, according to him, and said, "No, we're not going to have that." So hey, thank you, Pablo. Appreciate that. If you're leaving, whether it's a firing, whether it's anything. And like I said, Gina Carano was not fired. At the time I said this, I repeat it to you guys. She was not fired. There was a statement that said, she is. Let's pause that video because I got this statement here. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm and there are no plans for her to be in the future, a Lucasfilm spokesperson said in a widely distributed statement. I'm starting to believe That was Pablo Hidalgo. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. She was not fired. There was a statement that said she is not under contract with Lucasfilm. Okay? Maybe it's semantics, but that's the case. There was no obligation that they had for her, and they just let you know that. And then there was a second paragraph, which was like, when we also don't approve of any of this stuff, it's so hateful. Well, okay, we didn't need that one because, you're not a person unless you're a person. We don't know who the statement was from. Like, you didn't sign your name on it. Lucasfilm can't say that. Lucasfilm can release a statement saying a fact, which is Gina Carano is not under contract, I was fine with that part of the statement. Don't give me opinion because we don't need that. What happens when Liam Neeson, he wasn't under contract, but remember when that news came out about what he did back in, was it Northern Ireland? I did a video on it, so just search Liam Neeson under Chillmonger and you'll hear what I thought about it from a few years ago, but you didn't put on a statement for that. No, I'm sure he'll be at the Star Wars celebration. You guys want to see what someone just liked? I know what it is. It was my tweet. Grogu pulling up to Tatooine like the chainmail. I said, they say, oh, Mandalorians are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Boba Fett and you can see that statement is not true because Cad Bane knows he can't defeat me, so he's a 33rd and third chance of winning. That's the meme. I think it's true. Pablo Hidalgo is in hot water. He vented the way he knows how to, which is on Twitter, because folks like this believe Twitter is real life. And don't forget, he's the same guy who said the thing to Star Wars theory. He said, emotions are not for sharing. Took the tweet down, made himself private, and had it on the, it was already private, but he had it on his header. This guy emotes through Twitter. So thank you to Pablo Hidalgo for not destroying Coruscant, if I'm saying nice things. But also, I'm not happy someone doesn't have a job anymore. Make that clear. And since I'm adding to this video in post, I'll say that I am pleased someone like Pablo Hidalgo is not at Lucasfilm anymore. Someone who will take his place, maybe more responsible from my perspective. I am upset with the way he treated Star Wars Theory all that time ago, and that still holds. That would be the raw truth. Now, I'll play the video and you'll see me try to rationalize and sound like a normal human being, but the truth is that this is good news for the company. I hope he made enough money at Lucasfilm in his tenure to where he's well off. Maybe come back to Canada because he's from Winnipeg, according to his Wikipedia. Maybe come here where the dollar is weaker, but you get paid in American money and it'll go further. Just kind of chill out, literally. I'm so lame. But yeah, I'm not happy. I do recognize guys need jobs to pay for them, and I'm just kind of reporting and saying how I believe things went. Lucasfilm, good job keeping your mouths shut, leaving us in the dark. I do believe he's not with them anymore because of the Twitter thing. If you disagree or if you agree, let me know in the comment section. And check out my stream this Saturday.